What's up, everybody? This is Jason David Frank, the Green Ranger, and you are watching Ranger Wrap Up.
Fix it, man. Give me the piece. No. How do you mean no? You done. I mean, I'm holding on to this process.
Welcome to the Ranger Wrap Up. What up, guys? The show's a little bit different, but you're still gonna have fun. We got your comics. We got your fan theories. We got your Power Ranger discussion. We got some Power Ranger fan film spotlights going, and we also got a little bit of some Dino Fury interviews, so stick around. First up, Ash has got a review for us for Power Rangers Unlimited Countdown to Ruin. Check it out.
Power Rangers Unlimited Countdown to Ruin is finally out, and these Power Ranger Unlimited series has kind of replaced the graphic novels we got annually every year. I mean, we got Soul of the Dragon one year, the Psychopath the next year, and then the Time Force one the year after. So these Unlimited books, we're getting, I believe, 2 a year, because we got 2 last year, and we're getting 2 this year, probably more on the way. These have sort of replaced those graphic novels we got every year. And I want to say, these Power Ranger Unlimited series have been interesting to read because they sort of dive into the backstory of past characters we've met in Ranger lore, and they tie into the mainline comics for the Boom Studio books. So the last 2 we had were the one about Astrometer, and then we had one focusing on the Phantom Ranger and his backstory, and that sort of tied into Power Rangers universe. And this one, Countdown to Ruin, sort of tells the backstory of Andros and Zane, mostly Andros and his sort of inner thoughts of what he went through after the loss of his family and Corone going missing. We finally learn what he went through and sort of how he and Zane became Rangers. So this is a backstory that mostly ties into the comic lore of Power Rangers, not the TV series, although they kind of do intertwine here and there. But how this comic ends, it sort of ties into the Power Rangers comic that Ryan Parrott is doing, where Andros has joined that team. So this isn't the canon TV story backstory of Andros. This is comic Andros we're focusing on. Now, Countdown to Ruin, I'm going to be honest with you guys. I thought it was okay. I didn't think it was mind-blowing or super exciting. It was okay. It wasn't bad, it wasn't terrible. I'm not going to trash on it and call it terrible and garbage and stuff like that. I enjoyed reading it, but I think I went into this with my expectations a little bit too high because it was one of my favorite Rangers, and we were finally going to see a backstory that I've been wanting to see for the longest time. And although we see that backstory that I've been wanting to see for the longest time, seeing the original In-Space team and stuff like that, the whole premise of this comic and how it tells its story is what I've got a problem with, because Andros sort of is going through the loss of Corone and sort of trying to deal with him being alone in this world and how he's very different to Zane, and Andros in this comic is very angsty, very lonery, where he sort of sticks to himself and he's only open a little bit to Zane. Andros is going through a lot of inner thoughts that we see in this comic, where he mostly narrates his sort of mindset and what happens around him. And that's probably my main bone to pick with this comic, is it is very dialogue heavy, where we see what Andros is going through. The writer tells us what's going on as they narrate it. And I feel like maybe I thought going into this comic it'd be all action or despair. We'd probably open up with like Rangers getting killed off left and right. That doesn't happen, but the interactions we got between certain characters here and there, I did enjoy. Andros' original team, let's talk about that. That's the big thing to take away with this comic, because when I did that video talking about Andros' original team and we were introduced to Marvy and Daza, a lot of people quoted this line from the TV show.
I knew that. Just never met a female Power Ranger before.
Yeah, that one line where Zane said he's never met a female Power Ranger is kind of retconned in this comic, although comic lore, TV show lore two totally different things if you want to put that into mind. So a lot of people were saying that doesn't make any sense because Zane said he's never met a female ranger before. True, I went back and looked at that quote because even I forgot about it, so you could either call it a retcon, the writer forgot because it's such a one-way throwaway line, or different canon. Call it whatever you want. But the characters of Maeve and Daza, they are some interesting characters because they were the mentor to Zane and Andros. A lovely couple, lovely people. And they don't get killed off in this comic, if I recall. They sort of retire and they sort of pass on their morphers to the next generation of Andros' team. I believe his entire team retires and they sort of pass on to the next generation of Rangers. So I don't know if Andros' entire team is out there, or there was a bunch of other cadets that sort of took the role of these Space Rangers and they were killed off, and the people that sort of Andros got taken in by on the Astro Mega ship and stuff like that, they're his family. I don't know, it's not clear. I'm probably wrong and people are going to correct me in the comment section, but Marvy and Daza, they're still alive out there. That is a fact for sure. Now, I'm 5 minutes into this review, and I feel like I need to praise the art, so there's two artists that work on this comic. The main artist is Anna Kavoski Chandra. I do apologize if I butchered your name, but their artwork is this anime manga-esque style, and I really like it. Especially the colors that are used in this issue, because they pop with that anime style, so whenever someone does this manga and anime style, they always have the right colors on for it. That just makes it pop and look really vibrant. And then for the final 2 pages, or the big heavy action scenes, you've got Giuseppe Cavaro. I do apologize if I butchered your name there as well, but they did like the final 2, well, they did the opening page, and then they did the last couple of pages with all the action and the heavy drama stuff. But the artwork in this comic is really great, I will say that. So the whole dynamic you've got going in this comic is angsty Andros, where he lost his sister and he's angsty because he thinks he's alone in the world. And then you've got Zane, where he's happy, he's smiling, he's befriending the family that took him in, or the Rangers that took him in, and he's very chipper. So you see the contrast of personalities between them. And the whole inner thoughts of Andros, where you kind of learn what he's going through and stuff like that, I get it, but I feel like we spent too much time on angsty Andros before he had his turnaround and realized, hey, he's not alone in this world, he's got Zane, and then he has that bromance moment with him. But I feel like they spent too much time on angsty Andros and not enough time on the other Rangers that we got to meet, because I feel like maybe we could have spent more time with them and learnt a little bit more about them before they were killed off. There's so much they could have done, but I understand this is a Zane and Andros story, not an original In-Space Rangers team story, but maybe we could have got to know the other Rangers just a little bit better and see how they interacted with Andros on the ship and stuff like that, instead of Andros going off to mope and stuff like that. But this comic also did set up other things, such as the Death Ranger, where the Gold Omega Ranger has the power to revive someone from the dead, so I wonder what they're setting up with that in this comic. And not only that, what else did they set up? Safe Haven, where they talked about Safe Haven being a myth, so there's a bunch of stuff they sort of set up in the mainline comics with these Unlimited runs. So Countdown to Ruin doesn't end on a crazy cliffhanger or a crazy turn pager. It basically ends on stuff we already know, where Zane is injured and in that cryo state, the Astro Mega ship gets stolen, and it ends with Andros sort of getting the message from Jason that we saw after the Eltarian War. So there's no crazy cliffhanger with this comic, unfortunately, but it does sort of tie into probably brand new readers who are reading this for the very first time to start reading the Ryan Parrott run to find out with what happens to Andros next and where does he go. So that sort of sets up for that. But yeah, Power Rangers Countdown to Ruin, it was okay. I didn't hate it. I feel like it could have done a lot more or a lot more potential, but we'll see what happens with the Death Ranger run, with what happens with that comic. So with that said, I'm going to bring this video to a close. If you enjoyed this video, hit that thumbs up, subscribe to the channel if you're new, and I'll see you guys later. Peace out, take care.
Our boy Dan from the fan club got to this week's fan theory. Check it out.
I can't do this on my own, cause you know things ain't always sweet when you out here in these streets. But my morpher when it morph, I made a fake one.
We have 11 episodes left of Power Rangers Dino Fury, and we have a lot of things that did not get resolved, I should say, that need to get resolved in these next 11 episodes. But today we wanted to talk about episode 12, the episode that is closest, and kind of give you guys some predictions on what could happen in this episode. So we left off with Void Queen turning Void Knight into Void King. Tarek is evil again, and this guy is pretty badass. I believe that for the next few episodes, you are going to see Void King kind of be around and kicking the Rangers' butts. I believe that they are going to need some type of power-up to defeat Void King, Void Queen, and maybe Lord Zed. I believe Lord Zed is going to be in this season again. However, I don't think he's going to be in those first couple episodes of the second half. I think he'll come a little bit later in the season, just like last series with Goldar Maximus. He came, a little bit towards the end of the second half of season 2. I would love to see Lord Zed again. I don't think it's going to happen episode 12, but we might get some hints about Lord Zed coming back. We might also get some hints about where Lord Zed is, because he is on the moon. He's in space, it sounds like. Could we also get some hints to who is Amelia's parents? That's a good question. What about Rafkon? Are we going to get anything about Rafkon in episode 12? Do we get some new power-ups? Are we done with getting new Zords? Are there going to be any more new Zords? That's a question that we don't know yet. What do you guys think in the comments? What are your predictions for episode 12 of season 2? Let me know in the comments. I love you guys so much. You guys are the MVPs. Let's get into this. Dylan said, I think that Amelia will have a dream about finding her parents and learning that their Void King and Void Queen are her parents. She goes to look for them and try to stop them, but they turn her into Void Princess. Ooh, that would be sick. Kay said, oh my god, thanks for reading my theory. And yes, I think when they do rebuild him, it will be Nalai, which is a stronger version of Snag-Eye in my series. Ooh, in your theory, yeah, Snag-Eye might be coming back. That would be tight. Oh, look at this, guys. This is super special. Campo Cooley, the voice of Slither, says, hi, Dan. Thanks for all of your hard work. As Slither would say, gold star for you. Haha, that's awesome. This is tight. Stuff like that makes my day. You've got voice actors from the show commenting on the fan club. It really makes it all worth it. Yesterday, Simon Bennett shared something about the fan club, one of our videos. Things are really starting to look up for us, guys, and it's all because of you guys, the fans out there, supporting and watching this content. Someone said, I'm going to mess up your name, but Atilano said, I think Void Knight might be the 7th Ranger. Oh, that would be cool. Colin said General Shaw might return. Yes, I believe that is going to happen. Darian's asking when the release date is. I don't know. I wish I knew. You'd guys be the first to know if I knew. Sebastian said, it's going to be awesome, buddy. Atilano said, bring back Goldar. Hey, that would be so much fun. Yeah, bring back another Mighty Morphin villain. That would be legit. Doesn't Power Rangers Dino Fury have a movie in the making? No, I don't think so. What do you guys think? Let me know in the comments. I love you guys so much. Thanks for watching. You guys are the MVPs. I'm just in awe sometimes when I look at the numbers and see this many people are actually watching the fan club. I love you guys. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you next time. Peace.
You know, here at the Illuminerdi, we like to highlight and spotlight a lot of the Power Rangers fandom, fan films, fan projects, and these are a few interviews from Ranger Legacy a few months ago that from the cast of Shattered Past. So sit back and enjoy.
How you guys doing? This is Mike from Illuminerdi right now at the Rangers Legacy booth at Anime Pasadena 2021. I've been saying it all day and I can't get over the fact that we're saying it because this is a really big deal, guys. Now I'm here with Jake, who is one of the series actors for Power Rangers Shattered Past in that extended universe.
That's right.
Oh, how did you even get into the series? How was that like?
So I'm friends with Colin and Dade from working with them in different areas and stuff and just through cosplay. And Colin actually hit me up because he saw that I make costume stuff and I have the White Ranger outfit. And they wanted to bring Draken into the series as the main villain. So I did an episode with them as the White Ranger, just as regular Tommy, and I just did the suit acting. I haven't done any of the voiceover for it. That's a different actor. But I offered to them to build a Draken costume for their series, and so I 3D printed the helmet and made all the other armor out of foam, and now I'm in the 4th episode and hopefully in the future ones. So
what was it like seeing yourself for the first time in like the finished episodes?
Oh man, it was a blast. Like getting to see myself fight like as a ranger was like a dream, like for me being a kid. Like there was a time when a Power Ranger performer came to a birthday party when I was very, very young and loved meeting him. He was the White Ranger and that was always like a dream of mine, was to dress up like that character. So to see myself on screen fighting in the same way that the Power Rangers did on television, spectacular. I loved it.
So what makes you resonate with this specific Ranger?
Tommy has always been a #1 pick for me as a Ranger, and I really love the storylines they've come up with for Draken as like an alternate universe type of character. Like, what if he just fully embraced the evil side of what Rita was giving him and just took it and ran with it? I really love that concept, and just that it's this huge multiverse like crossover event whenever he shows up is really cool. Him being like the Thanos of the Power Rangers is pretty neat.
So my question is, what's it been like for you coming to like these events, especially for your guys' series, and seeing how the fans have reacted to you?
Oh man, seeing the fan reaction to Shattered Past is amazing. The fact that it started off from such humble beginnings with like very short like 1st and 2nd episodes to now we're making like 15 to 20 minute episodes, almost the length of like an actual Power Rangers series episode, is astounding. And the love that the show gets is just, it warms my heart like a lot, and it makes me so proud to work with all this team and stuff, and Colin and Dade and Elvin with Nerdbot and stuff. So it's very cool to see. I love it.
So since you're a Ranger fan, what was it like doing your first ever like fight choreography with this series?
I've done a little bit of fight choreography in the past. I used to help out with like the Jedi training show at Disneyland and stuff. So getting to do it on camera and learning how they split up all the shots and stuff to make everything look really cool is awesome to see, like in like the background side. And then seeing the finished product makes me feel so cool. It's awesome.
Bro, where can people find you so we can plug like your social media?
Yeah. So you can find me anywhere on the internet at Corruption Cosplay with K's. I'm going to be on Instagram and all kinds of stuff. That's where I post most of my content, is Instagram. Take a look for me there. Obviously, look at the new episodes of Shattered Past coming soon. We're currently in pre-production on episode 5, and I think we've shot a little bit of it, so we're hoping to see where that goes soon. So keep an eye out.
All right, thank you. This is Mike with Illuminerdi. Catch you guys at the next con. Peace. Hey, how you guys doing today? This is Mike with Illuminerdi. Right now, we are at Power Rangers Legacy event right here at Anime Pasadena 2021. And I'm here with the Psycho Green actor for this extended universe.
Hey, what's up, guys? My name is Mark Arjona, and I play Psycho Green on Power Rangers Shattered Past.
All right, so my first question is, bro, how did you become a Power Ranger for this crazy extended universe?
So what's crazy was I met Colin back at Power Morphicon in like 2018. And he called me up. He's like, "Hey, do you want to go in our little YouTube series?" And I was like, "Yeah, I got a Psycho Green suit that I pretty much like dress up for." And he goes, "Yeah, we got a little plot. I'll write you in." And next thing you know, we do our first episode, and big hit, and so we just went with it. It was crazy.
So what was it like seeing the genesis of like a viral fan series that's now included the real actors?
So that was a big thing too. So we thought it was just gonna be like some guys making a YouTube video and decided to like, hey, you know, we're just gonna go with it. And next thing you know, we get Patrick David, and then we get Catherine, the Pink Ranger, and next thing you know, we're just blowing it up. It's insane how far we've come in 2 years.
So question, bro, what was it like seeing your suit for the first time when you got it?
So Boom Studios decided to make Psycho Green, and I decided like, I need to get one. So when I got the suit and I saw it on screen, I was just blown away. So with the VFX, me throwing lightning bolts and blasting, like it's every kid's dream to do that. So the fact that I was able to do that is just beyond real.
So what did you have to do to really get into the headspace of being the first villain of the series?
So obviously watching in space, watching the Psycho Rangers play, and kind of like get the idea of how Trek is. So Trek is a Siberian who is Psycho Green from the powers of Mangalore, the guy from Turbo. So he gave me my powers, and next thing you know, this whole comic series goes into me killing the first original 5, and also the Sonic Rangers as well. So what's insane about it is I try to just dig deep into that. And like, yeah, I'm going to go kill Sam O'Neill, and I'm going to go kill Landon Tate. Like, that's kind of like the concept of, like, the Terminator.
So who was the one that initiated all the initial fight choreography for the rest, and then for the series now?
So what's crazy is a little bit of my martial arts background. I helped Colin with some of the choreography. So the first scene was a little bit of, like, a test. Second episode of we decided to throw the ninjas in. And then we got Rise of the Ninja with Will Schufelt, who I got to work with, which... amazing, because he's like, hey, I want this Bruce Lee type where, you know, I'm surrounded by enemies, but at the same time I want to make it look nice and fancy. So using that and just getting better, and then just watching more of the Power Rangers like, stock, oh no, and then get hit, you know? So it was really nostalgic.
So my question is, in the last 2 years, what has it been like for you personally to see how accepted you've been by the fans?
Yeah, that I'm still trying to take in. Like, the fact that people can recognize me like, hey, you're Psycho Green, or hey, you're like the ninja who get kicked in the face. Like, that's something I've never thought I would be like, oh yeah, that was me, you know? So, I mean, from then, that just pushed me to do more things. So, the fact that we're trying to evolve it more, which is even better. So, actually, I have another Psycho Green that's happening with a fusion from Bloodline. So, a little hint, but I mean, we're trying to get things going. But other than that, I'm really excited.
Where can people find you?
So you can find me on Instagram, PsychoRanger_Mark.
Alrighty. Thank you, man. I appreciate your time. Bro, this has been a great interview. You guys, I'm Mike with Illuminerdi. You can find us on all social media. Right now, we're out here at the Power Ranger Legacy booth at Anime Pasadena 2021. I'll catch you on the next interview. Peace. Hey, how you guys doing? This is Mike again with Illuminerdi. Right now we are at the Ranger Legacy event at Anime Pasadena 2021. I am with ATL Worldwide, aka the Black Inferno Ranger. How you doing today, bro?
I'm well, man. How about yourself?
I'm doing great. So how did you become a part of this universe for the fandom?
Man, it's a very interesting story. So one day I saw some of the work online. I reached out and I actually talked to Colin about a possible theme song for the show, and I thought it probably needed something, and I was kind of dabbling in that field, right? He messaged me back and he said, man, I'd love that. So I did it, recorded the song, sent it to him. He loved it. Next thing you know, he puts it up. It's everywhere. And it just kind of went from there. And then I'm getting, you know, some of the actual Rangers liking it, reaching out, DMing, all that, right? How I ended up becoming an actual Power Ranger. Shout out to William Schufelt, man. I was did some music with him. I met him at a con, and we worked in the studio and stuff like that, worked on some music. And it just became a thing where it was like, you should suit up. And I'm like, nah, that's not my thing, man. I'm good. Nah, do it. And deep down inside, I really wanted to do it. So I ended up doing it, and fast forward like a whole year and a half later, here we are today, you know, whole custom Power Ranger, you know, wow, you know. So like I'm really grateful for this time and this moment. But that's kind of like the short story of how I got involved. just making music, building rapport, being friends with these people and admiring their work and being recognized as one of them now. So now I'm I'm in here now, you know what I mean? So I'm part of the universe, man. And, the Power Ranger Extended Universe is where we are right now. So, yeah.
So my question to you is, why specifically this Ranger?
All right, so when I was growing up, man, Ninja Storm was one of the best adaptations of the Hurricaneger Sentai, right? And one thing that I noticed that I didn't see anyone in the show that looked like me. And I've always liked Ninja Storm because I like ninja-based anything, right? And I just figured, okay, I would create my own version. But come to find out, like in the Sentai, the Red Hurricaneger, he has a dark side. So I kind of got some points and some tips on it. And then I kind of just modeled the character that I created, this Inferno, after that dark version of the Red Hurricaneger or Wind Ranger Red, and just kind of went from there. And also, it's because the first thing I saw was when I met Colin, shout out to Colin, his Red Wind Ranger, and I wanted to pay homage to what he's done and letting me come in and join them and be a part of this whole world. So that's another reason too. So, yeah.
All right, I got to ask you this, bro. It's gonna be a little personal, but it has to be asked. What did it feel like seeing yourself in the comic book counterpart to this series?
Okay, look, it felt really like surreal. I had a conversation with my younger brother, one of my younger brothers, and he told me to just accept it because it's happening and this is what you work for. And when I saw myself, like, that's when I knew it was all like it was legit happening. I'm happy. I still can't believe it. I can't wait to see what's next, see more, and I'm excited, man, and I'm really grateful, man. So, but yeah, that's felt good, man. Felt really good. I think anybody would feel good to see themselves in a comic book, right?
All right, question. So I know you can't reveal too much because more episodes are coming for the series, but what was it like doing the fight choreography?
Shout out to Mark, Psycho Green. It was kind of like riding a bike because the way they kind of structured it, how Colin and Mark structured the fight choreo. I used to do gymnastics growing up back in the day, man, when I was younger, and I used to dance. So it's kind of like the same type of vibe, and I memorized movements and stuff like that. So it was kind of like easy. It wasn't as hard as I thought it would be. But yeah, it's fun.
All right. ATO, thank you for your time. I really do appreciate it, bro. Where can plug your social media so people can find you, bro?
So ATO worldwide, all social media. Find my music, all music streaming platforms, all that. Just find me, ATO worldwide. Right here. Holla at me, drop me a line, message me, follow me, I follow you back. And yeah, and look out for the Inferno Ranger.
All right, guys, this is Mike Fallon with Illuminerdi. You guys can catch us on all social media as well. And I'll catch you on the next interview. Peace. How you guys doing today? This is Mike with Illuminerdi. Right now we're at the Ranger Legacy event at Anime Pasadena.
Hi, I'm Alexandria House. I am the Pink Omega Ranger in Power Rangers Shattered Past.
So how did it feel to know like you got casted in such a a beloved fandom?
Honestly, super exciting. I still can't believe it because it blew my mind once I realized how many people really still love it. Yeah.
All these.
Like, this is already insane. I mean, the line to get here, the line to get in. And we shot a scene recently where there were people who paid in the Patreon to have a role in the episode.
Word. Okay.
And, like, that was when it hit me just, like, how big this really is.
Exactly.
It's crazy. Like, people just wanted to be in the episode, which is really cool.
So what's it feel like today to know that you guys have this whole table and backdrop dedicated to your work?
So excited. I'm like, I want to take home everything. I want to take home all the helmets. But it's really exciting. It's cool that like people want to come up and meet everyone and talk to everyone and autographs. Like, I remember when I was a kid asking for autographs, and an adult It's fine.
I know. We've all loved BTS. You know what's up.
Yeah.
When it comes to the production of like your series, so what's it like learning like the fight choreography or like reading the lines and being revealed like who's gonna be in the scene with you?
So I'm still super new, so I haven't done any of the fight choreography yet.
Okay.
I'm very excited to do that. I think that's coming soon, though, this episode that we're filming, so, I think, which is very exciting. I even got my suit recently, so I'm excited for that reveal. But no, yeah, like, it's fun to read the script. Colin will send it to me, and I'll just be like, okay, what's going to happen? Like, I'm very excited to see what's going to happen. So it's a good time. Yeah.
What was it like seeing your costume for the first time? Everything that ran through your head?
I mean, Colin had sent me a drawing of it, of what it was going to look like, but getting it in person was a whole different world. And getting to try it on, I was like, I looked at myself in the mirror. I literally took a picture in the mirror because I was like, I feel like a real Power Ranger right now. Like, I'm patiently waiting for my helmet. Patiently.
Time's ticking.
Patient. I promise I'm patient.
Yeah.
But no, putting on the suit was like, I felt like a whole different person.
I just want to say thank you for your time. I've been Mike with Illuminerdi. Where can people like find your social media?
Well, social media, you can find me on Instagram at Alexandria House. Other than that, we're on YouTube. Power Rangers Shattered Past episode 4 is most recent. That's where I come in. And episode 5 should hopefully be out in maybe a few months. The next few months.
Man, thank you for your time. I've been Mike at Illuminerdi, and we're here at Ranger Legacy, y'all, 2021. Peace. How you guys doing today? This is Mike with Illuminerdi, and we are here with Dade. How you doing today, brother?
Hey, I'm doing good. How are you?
I'm all right, man. So I just want to ask, man, so for being in this series, you are the original Time Force Red.
So, there's a lot of different... Technically not. Because I technically come from the future when the events with Rancic and Wes Collins and all that has already happened. And Jen Scott, who's one of the original Pink Time Force Ranger, is the mentor to my Rangers. But I am in the past. There's a bunch of crazy things. Eventually, I become Sky Tate's dad from SPD. And so, yes. And no. But mostly no. Yes.
So this is on like Time Force, Terminator, Back to the Future.
It's crazy, man.
Jesus. You're like your own character's grandfather.
If I snap wrong, my son disappears in a puff of smoke.
Exactly.
It's crazy.
So does that mean your son's the time paradox?
I mean, that's really up for him to decide, right?
Man, that is nuts, brother. So my question is, how did you get involved in?
Oh man, that's crazy. So I met Colin on the set of a different show that my fiance was in. And I was just vibing with him. We were talking about Power Rangers. He asked me a few questions about like my thoughts on Power Rangers, and then he hit me up with this idea, and I was like, that's pretty dope. Like, I'm down. Let's figure it out. And so we worked together to figure out the whole character of Landon and where he comes from, and the whole timey-wimey stuff that we were talking about with like the future but the past. And so it's hard to know what I can say because a lot hasn't been revealed yet. I know everything, but Colin might snipe me from over there if I start talking. Okay, time travel.
In this current time stamp, like this day and time, nobody knows yet.
Not everything. Okay. Everybody knows that I'm Sky Tate's dad, and that I am the Time Force Red that is in the photo that he looks at in his bedroom. And the culmination of his daddy issues. But as far as everything else, I'm from the future from Wes Collins and Jen Scott's. Yeah.
That is crazy. So my question is, I'm going to ask a personal question, bro. Oh. I have to do it.
Let's do it.
How did you feel? What was inside your head when you saw your outfit for the first time?
Ooh, the original or my new Zeo Charge outfit?
Both.
Okay, the original outfit was awesome. It was like kid in a candy store. I mean, Wes Collins is my favorite Power Ranger. Jason Font is a really dope guy. I've met him a couple times. Super nice. And he's my favorite Ranger. So being able to kind of step into that was really rad. But the new Zeo Charge suit, ooh, Woo! Shout out to Awashi Wasabi on Instagram. He designed it. It looks amazing. Shout out to Nightmare Illusion on Instagram who made it. You guys are gonna be pretty hyped when you see it. It's a whole new bag, man.
Yes. What was it like doing fight choreography for this series?
It's been fun. It's been a lot of fun. I've actually been able to help out in creating a lot of it with Mark and I. We'll throw together a lot of stuff and be like, hey, Colin, how high can you kick? It's a lot of fun. We have a good time together when we're filming, and the fighting just really flows together, and we just love putting the action together for everybody.
All right, I got to ask you another personal question, brother. What was it like when you came here today and you saw how much the fandom accepted you guys?
Okay, so getting here was a chore, but once I finally got here and walked in, it's overwhelming, man. Like, it's so cool to see this table here amongst all of these legends, rangers, and some of which I've already been able to work with through this series, and people I grew up watching on TV coming over and like giving me a hug and saying like, "What's up, man? Good to see you again." It's surreal. It's really cool to be accepted not only by the fans but by the peers and like our fellow Rangers. Like, it's really rad.
All right, man. Hey, thank you for your time, brother. Absolutely, man. I appreciate it. So, where can people catch you on social media, bro? We got to plug all your social media.
Yeah, absolutely. It's pretty easy. All of my social medias are at Dadelza. Dadelza.
Alrighty, man. I appreciate your time. Thank you. Absolutely. This is Mike again with Illuminerdi. I'll catch you guys at the next event. Peace.
We're on the precipice of the 30th anniversary of this iconic series. I mean, I can't believe 30 years. It's probably older than the both of you. Which is incredible that this show's been on so long. Power Rangers being on for 30 long years, what would you like to see in its 30th anniversary?
That's a good question. It'd be cool to bring us all back. All the Rangers, every single Power Ranger.
But can you imagine
ever existed?
It would be like a 5-hour movie, and we would all just have one line.
It would have to be its own series. I feel like
it would have to be
Surely.
like 4 seasons, because we each just get one episode.
Right. Well, I mean, that even opens up the question, because there's a ton of rumors flying around that past Rangers are set to return for this 30th anniversary. I'm assuming that both of you guys would love to be involved in that, correct?
That would be an opportunity I think all of us would snatch in a heartbeat.
You let us know if you know, because I was saying this just before, the fans always know more than us. We'll like, I'll get sent something in the group chat and it's like a link to something, and I'm like, is this happening? Oh yeah, no, it's happening. Did anyone know? No. But like, the fans have known for 3 days and I've just been out of it. So if you hear anything about what's going to happen,
you just dropped a story. You can check that
tell us.
Sorry, I talk so much. I'm sorry.
No, it's all good. Look, we're on the precipice of the 30th anniversary of this iconic show that's obviously gone on for 30 years. There's so many rumors swirling around what could be happening, what might be happening, who could be coming back, who might be coming back. But let's take all that away. What are the chances that you guys would want to reprise your roles of Zeo and Javi for the 30th anniversary? Because we've already had one giant epic Dino team up with the Mighty Morphin Rangers, the Dino Charge Rangers, the Dino Thunder Rangers. It just seems to me that the Dino Fury Rangers, they should be a part of that too, right? 30 years?
I don't disagree with you. That would be great.
Yeah. I mean, if you're asking if we would want to do this again, I mean, no questions asked. Who wouldn't want to keep being a Power Ranger? That's crazy. But yeah, I mean, there's so many rumors. There's so much out there. We have no idea. But yeah, we'll just wait and see, man.
Would you like to see Power Rangers go next?
As far like literally?
Yeah, because look, we're on the precipice of the 30th anniversary. I said, it's one of the 23 longest running shows of all time. Where would you like to see the future of Power Rangers go next?
Man, that's a hard question, man. I would like it to continue down the path that we are doing, because, obviously we're a part of the franchise and there's been many Rangers in the past, but I think it's been pretty evident as far as like just seeing discussions online and the Power Ranger Nation, Ranger Nation on Twitter and things like that. And I think everyone sees a little difference in Dino Fury, and I think that's pretty obvious with what's been going on with it. And I think what I want to see for the future with it is just to kind of continue down what we're paving.
Yeah.
I think with Simon had full power on this and took it, and I think he took it to the next level.
Look, the 30th anniversary is a big deal. There's already rumors swirling around about past Rangers returning. And that's the one cool thing about Power Rangers, right? That there's so many actors that are part of this legacy that want to return. If you can share the screen with any Ranger for a 30th anniversary special or 30th anniversary season, which Ranger would that be?
Oh, man. I'm gonna have to go with, it's either Jason or Tommy, man, from the original. It's out of those two. It's out of those two.
Classic choice. Classic choice.
Yeah.
Now, like we were just talking about the 30th anniversary. What would you like to see for the 30th anniversary, and where would you like to see Power Rangers go in the future?
Oh man, kudos to the next cast, or if they bring the originals back or whoever. But oh man, I just wish them luck, and hopefully we share a screen one day.
Here it is, you guys. You guys have been waiting for this. We have Ranger Liz, Este, we have Heirloom, and me and Joe, and we are discussing Austin St. John confirming 30th anniversary reunion.
All right, guys, welcome to the Ranger Nation discussion. This week, we're going to be talking more about the 30th anniversary and Austin St. John's claims that Jason David Frank is returning for the 30th anniversary. I am joined this week, as you guys always know, by my co-host, Jezzer Zeus Reyes. Liz, topping it off with the news. Heirloom with the Super Sentai. And Este. How you guys doing?
Great.
Doing good.
Doing great.
That was like,
Yeah.
all right. First of all, I gotta ask you guys about this 30th anniversary reunion special. Now, it's seemingly confirmed that Austin St. John essentially confirmed that at the very least, everybody's been reached out to, which kind of debunks some other people that may have been throwing things around out there. Now that we know that all of the Rangers have been in contact with Hasbro, or at least possibly coming back, does that excite you guys? Or with this whole, Austin St. John legal controversy, does it still have a black cloud hanging over it?
For me, it really does. For the whole thing, like the actors could say like as much as they can, as much as if they were contacted, if they were not contacted. But I feel like this whole situation with ASJ is kind of leaving us in the clouds a little bit in terms of what we can expect.
A little bit, Jezzer. What do you have to say about that? What's your hot take on that?
About Yen and the whole casting thing for her?
No, about Walter Jones reprising his role as that stupid guy that he was in the Forever Red special. No, yes, Yen.
Oh, I don't know. I just really want this whole thing to actually work out. The whole initial story and maybe possibly having everybody in on the thing, like have, even if they reach back out to Amy Jo or ASJ changes his mind. I think it's important. Like, I really think it's important. I think it's as important as like all those HBO freaking reunion things where they had all those people come back. I mean, if Will Smith can get it, because it's for Fresh Prince, yeah. If Will can get freaking Aunt Viv to come back after like blacklisting her in Hollywood, I'm sure they could get these 5 people to come back, at least for like Twee's legacy, right? Like, I mean, it's just to honor her, just like come together even after all these years, and just, they're initially friends, so I mean, let's work it out,
Anniversary, 25th anniversary, and now possibly not even the 30th anniversary. Why haven't we had all of them in the same room together?
I think the biggest thing I can think of right now is I think that they think like Power Rangers is beneath them now, that they've gone higher. I mean, Amy's got her gig, and then you've got like all the others doing their own stuff. Like, as much as I hate to say it, JDF's been carrying it at conventions, but I think the rest of them are just like, well, it's a show that, it's beneath us now. That's what I kind of think of.
I definitely remember a time in like the mid 2000s, like when I was just getting like internet access, and I was very curious about the whereabouts of a lot of these original MMPR actors, to find out that there wasn't really much mention of them as to like what they were doing. Like they weren't doing at least that many cons as they do now, and there wasn't like that much social media back then. So I think maybe that may be a reason why they haven't really thought of an MMPR reunion. I honestly don't think that could have been in the works, mostly because it would have to be something original, not derivative of a Sentai series or movie, and it could have provided a lot of issues. I think now, with Hasbro in possession of the brand, I think now that idea could have actually have happened, but I'm not so sure.
But with the reunions and stuff, I mean, it's not like an episode though, right? Like, is it just they come back and they talk? But I mean, I love Power Rangers, but when you're trying to put like Power Rangers versus like Harry Potter or Friends, I mean, we're
Yeah.
they're just like, why haven't we gotten one? I'm like, well, y'all, I have some bad news for you if you haven't realized it yet, but the Power Ranger fandom is significantly
Tiny.
smaller.
Well, that's
I
it.
would
You know
love
what,
if
Liz?
we could
That's
just
a
do it in a convention though, even. It doesn't
Yeah.
have to be a huge special. If they could, but the two reasons why, egos and money. That's probably why we haven't ever gotten them all together.
You brought
That's
up a
true.
really good point, Liz, about the size of the Power Ranger audience, which I think sometimes is overlooked inside of its own fan base. Do you think that this 30th anniversary, if it does exist and if it actually does happen, do you think that this will actually bring older fans back to the franchise? And if it does bring them back to the franchise, do you think they will stick with the franchise?
As long as there's still stuff coming out, you know, the new show, the new movie, whatever. If we can get a few eyeballs back because of the 30th anniversary, maybe they'll stick around if there's something worth sticking around for. But if they get interested in it and then they go to Netflix and they're like, oh, there's like 2 random seasons, or you got to watch it on like Netflix or YouTube Kids, there's gonna need to be something to hold people's attention. Because yeah, people would pop in and they watched Dimensions in Danger, but never watched any of the rest of Ninja Steel. So if we're gonna have something that holds their attention, we need to have a solid base around it. And I'm just hoping this Entwistle universe comes. At least, you know, give us previews, give us something during the 30th anniversary, a teaser trailer for the movie or whatever, to make people want to stick with the Ranger fandom. Because if not, it's just going to be a huge blip like it was in 2016 with the movie, or 2017 the movie, or whatever it was, and just kind of like.
Well, Liz, you have kids, right? Like, or you have a daughter. Like, what does she think about the Power Ranger show? Like, if you show her the old stuff and the new stuff, which one does she like gravitate to more?
She likes the newer stuff better for the most part. Like her favorite characters were Ravi and Devin and Amelia now and Izzy. But she like the older stuff. I think she likes, maybe I don't say the cheesy stuff, but she likes like Alpha 5. She really likes Pudgy Pig. I think she just kind of likes some of the characters in it.
Mm-hmm.
But no, she steals all my Dino Fury toys.
Dino Fury's popular with kiddos, man. I have one right here that her and I binged it together, so it worked. I do have a question though about said 30th anniversary pseudo reunion. We talked earlier about why can't something like this happen at a convention. Comic-Con, San Diego Comic-Con's right around the corner. And Liz, you talked about getting a glimpse of Jonathan Entwistle's Power Ranger world. What are the chances? What are the chances that we get some type of glimpse for something in the future of Power Rangers that is outside of the show that we currently know? You don't think we'll get anything, Chester? No reveals?
I don't think
nothing.
not right now. I don't think.
Okay, so let's talk about this for a second. Hall H is obviously dominated by the Marvel Cinematic Universe. We know that's going to be happening on Saturday. That's the primetime stuff. Matter of fact, we can mostly expect major studios are going to have their announcements on Saturday. Hasbro usually does have a major presence at San Diego Comic-Con, whether it be through their toy exclusives. Matter of fact, just the other day, they dropped a ton of news about the G.I. Joe anniversary toys, more stuff that's coming out about that. You don't think at all, in the course of all of this, their Fan First Fridays, their G.I. Joe, whatever they do, their Star Wars drops, you don't think there's any reveal that Hasbro's going to be doing about either Dungeons & Dragons, Power Rangers, any of their properties?
They're gonna come out with Beast Wars. I think that's the one that they're gonna show at San Diego Comic Con. Or what is it, Beast Alliance? No, it's not Beast Alliance. Rise of the Beast or something. The new
Yeah.
Transformers franchise. I think that's what they're gonna show. What they're gonna show is like a 10-second clip of like Optimus Primal as like the gorilla just show up, and Anthony Ramos is just there, like that's it. It's only be a quick clip, but it's gonna just blow up on the internet. But I don't think they're gonna have anything with Jonathan and
Not even in one of the smaller halls, not in one of the smaller rooms.
I don't know. I mean, I feel like
Just have a title, like
Yeah.
anything.
You don't think it's Cosmic Fury? Like, you think that's like totally out the window? That's not what they're gonna call it.
Oh no, I just mean like for the movie or
Oh,
the
yeah,
show or like the other show.
Just
know
the
what?
confirmation.
You guys do pose a nice little discussion here, mainly because do you think even for the show that we'll get anything at San Diego Comic-Con? I will say this, I can promise you one thing. I'm pretty sure there's going to be one announcement coming from the Power Ranger franchise of San Diego. I know that for a fact.
TV franchise or TV?
I'm
Or,
not
like,
going to
current-
say which part of it, but it's something a part of the franchise. But I mean, it's something a part of the franchise that I think people might be excited about. But I know that one announcement's coming. I'm curious to see if others are also going to come during San Diego, because maybe they think, San Diego's where everything gets announced. Maybe we try something announcing Power Rangers in San Diego.
Well, there is a lot of like vacant spots in like the panel rooms and stuff since freaking CW just like exploded and just like demolished their whole like TV lineup, right? So like there is some space for something to come out, but I don't know. I don't know what they do.
I think that if we're gonna get something, and if it's gonna be the movie, if it's the name, it's just gonna be coming soon, The Power Rangers, and that will be all.
That's
That's
it.
it.
Just
Yeah.
a logo
Coming
and
soon.
a date.
But Mark,
Coming
you don't
soon.
think any news about Cosmic Fury comes out of San Diego?
No, because I think if we've looked at all the stuff with the Fan First Fridays, everything that Hasbro has done quite recently, it's not been anything to write home about. So I feel like if they do show something, it will either be something very brief, or they'll just go, "We're splitting," and they'll just walk off, or they'll say something so minute that no one will pick up on it, and then it'll just be Jonathan Entwistle, the Power Rangers, and it'll just be a logo. If they did Cosmic Fury, I would be. Do you know what? I'd be very impressed. But until Hasbro, I think, decided to take the reins and actually decide, okay, we want to take this brand a bit more seriously, I think we're just going to get there we go. It's on a piece of paper.
I have a feeling, and it's just a feeling, but I know this from what's the
It's a
last
Joe
Comic-Con we
feeling,
went
so
to,
it might be
Jezzer?
something.
What was the last Comic-Con was it 2019?
2019. That was the ASJ thing. That was crazy.
Okay, so that's the exact one I wanted to talk about. So that 2019, I know that there's that Hasbro breakfast that we get invited to in terms of like it's the product display and all that stuff. But that was also 2019 was also the first year. I know if you remember this, is where they tried to make their announcement of Austin St. John returning to the franchise. That was their big kickoff thing. So you don't think at this point now, Jezzer, that they would just announce the new Rangers at San Diego Comic-Con trying to make an impact in San Diego and announce them right then and there as they would at Morphicon?
So you're talking about the New Zealand show? Is that what you're talking about?
Yeah, Cosmic
So
Fury, whatever it's gonna be.
you're telling me like that there's not.
I'm not
set
telling you
pitch-
anything. I'm telling you that there's going to be one thing that I know for sure is going to be dropped in San Diego. I didn't say that's going to be it, but I'm saying you don't think that could be a possibility?
You remember when they shoot in New Zealand for like Beast Morphers or even for Dino Fury? There's always set photos. You'd think there'd be set photos of something going on over there. Right?
Negative. Because what are the chances that they haven't even flown out yet? From everything that all indications say is that they were leaving in August. That would have been right around the time of Power Morphicon, not San Diego Comic-Con.
So what would they
if
have to
can't
announce?
Make Power Morphicon. Well,
Yeah,
the cast.
there could be
I mean, if usually
they would
announce
announce the class,
Power Morphicon, if they can because they're already in New Zealand. I mean, it would give people a chance to get press, like, in-person shots.
Yeah.
I would love it. I would be so happily surprised if we actually got, like, an announcement at San Diego Comic-Con. I'm not holding my breath up.
I feel like what's most probable is we'd have, like, a Part 2, Season 2 Dino Fury trailer, and maybe at the end they'll be like, next season, here's our new cast. But I think...
Well, that's great. That'd be cool.
I mean, that makes the most sense right there. I mean, that makes most. I will say. I mean, what? Never mind. I know that there's a lot of pressure for them to put out their content right now for past things. So I know that they're at least gearing up for the second part of their Dino Fury season, at least to go public. But the real question is, will they announce that cast in San Diego? Because their last big impactful thing that they did announce was Austin St. John returning to the franchise in San Diego. So just saying that maybe they're shifting gears. Now, here's the downside about that. I don't know if it's necessarily a downside, but it will, depending on what day it is, which I'm assuming would be the Friday there in San Diego. It could get swallowed up by other news coming out of it. What I kind of doubt it, because I think they're looking at Power Rangers to maybe, hit it hard for this last hurrah. Now, the Jonathan Entwistle stuff, I will say, I doubt we'll hear anything about that in San Diego. If anything, I definitely think we'll hear about whatever Cosmic Fury, whatever that looks like. We may hear something about that, but I kind of doubt we'll hear anything about Entwistle stuff. At least that's my own thought. Let's switch gears for a second, because another part of this Austin St. John comment was that he speculated, I want to say very strongly here, he speculated that Jason David Frank is returning for this 30th anniversary. What do you guys think about the return of Jason David Frank if that were to happen on this 30th anniversary of the Power Rangers special?
Man, that was a really early retirement.
Oh man,
I know that was like the Tom Brady, right?
He
like
pulled a
just
Tom
came right
Brady.
back.
Oh my god. Tom Brady.
I think that if he does come back, I think that everyone will be really happy, because it's JDF and it's the 30th year and it's it's so hyped up. I think people will just go, all right, cool, and I'd be like, all right, just make it decent, because obviously Dino Fury is doing a lot better than like previous seasons, like Ninja Steel and stuff like that. So I think I'd be like, do you know what? Show me what you got. Put your money where your mouth is. Don't turn in and say, I'm going in retirement after this, because you've already retired. What the hell?
He's retired, but he just keeps posting about Power Rangers right now.
Yeah.
Like, okay, cool. You do you, bro.
He also said he was gonna go into like fighting and fight someone back in like 2019 or whatever, wrestling. Don't remember that?
I do remember that.
So
Whatever happened to that?
Got scared.
It happened in our imagination.
I don't know. Maybe COVID could have happened and killed that one. Who knows? That's a good question. I do vaguely remember that. I remember him posting pictures backstage at WWE and stuff like that. Because here's the thing: if Jason David Frank did make his return, I guess again, I think, I don't know. I feel like it's expected, but also if you don't have him come back for the 30th anniversary, look, he's a piece of the puzzle that I think you do need for the 30th anniversary. If you don't bring him back, then I think the only way fans are going to be satisfied, I personally think, and people in chat can let us know, but bringing back people that were fan favorites, that like a Johnny Young Bosch. You know what I mean? Somebody that the fans love and would love to see return for like an anniversary special. I feel like that could be as impactful too. But you'd have to assemble essentially like an all-star group of Rangers to do that.
Who would you guys want? Like, if it wasn't them, like, who's your fan favorite that hasn't been seen much in the franchise since their season, but you want them to come back and it just blow your mind?
I want to see Ziggy.
Oh, okay.
That's a good choice.
Yeah, that'd be cool.
RJ.
RJ?
I'd love RJ to come back, and his chair just comes in like wheeling it, and it's just like, all right, boys, how you doing? And it just turns into
it's like,
transforms it.
Bring that type of contrast with Tommy's character. I feel like it would make for some perfect scenes.
That would be cool.
Be awesome. So I guess maybe can I pose another question? If there's an anniversary and they say, okay, we do it, is it gonna have to other people and to you personally, if they're like, hey, we got a 30th anniversary, awesome. Oh yeah, like Jason and Tommy, yeah, they ain't gonna be there. And Kimberly ain't gonna be there. So we got Billy and Zach. Okay. So would it be, even if, and this is against the characters of Billy and Zach, but if they're gonna bill it as a big 30th anniversary and they only have 2 of the 5 living ones there, is it that big of an anniversary? Or
It's like when they did like Saved by the Bell in New Class, and it's like, oh, we're gonna get Zach and AC Slater back. No, we got Screech and Mr. Belding.
right.
It's like that. It's like, oh, well, we got somebody. I mean, it's something connected.
That is a good question, because I think that depending on what type of fan you are, what are you celebrating? Are you celebrating the 30th anniversary of Mighty Morphin, or are you celebrating the 30th anniversary of the franchise as a whole? And I think those are two kind of different things, right? Because there's a lot clamoring for a Mighty Morphin reunion, but at the same time, I think I'd be just as satisfied, at least as a Power Ranger fan, with some of my fan favorites coming in and out of the season. Though, to credit Liz, I will say though, I don't know if that draws in like the mainstream back to Power Rangers with random Rangers that they would have never known to begin with. No offense to any of them, though.
Yeah, BuzzFeed knows 7 Rangers, like that's just what it is. And
And if they were,
unless they go ahead.
If they were doing this, like, and they're trying to fast track this, August, are we assuming that a lot of them would be the New Zealand based Rangers?
Good question.
I think that with the New Zealand Rangers, it's a lot easier than getting someone else to come over, because again, I don't know if the COVID restrictions over in New Zealand have lifted. So I feel like if you've got, say, 5 New Zealand actors there right then, it'd be a lot easier to be like, all right, guys, we know you're not the A team, but we'll bring in the B team. Just put in a C team's type of acting and you'll be fine.
Yeah, that's true.
I don't think that's going to draw anybody, though.
Yeah.
It's not going to draw a single person in.
But I think
like Ranger fans, I mean, like if you're a really big fan of it, like you'd love it, but yeah, it wouldn't get the...
But who would we have to choose?
Well, let me ask you guys another question, because for the 20th anniversary, which was at least on paper and through a trailer, looked grand. It looked huge. That legendary battle looked gigantic.
All 3 minutes of it.
All 3 minutes of it looked
extended. 7. I mean, you watched the extended one.
If you imagine though the stories we created in our heads after seeing that trailer though, and who we thought was coming back, right, for that 20th anniversary, and then imagine the expectation we actually got when we got there. If something like that were to happen for the 30th anniversary, I felt like that might be the most disastrous thing and disastrous way you can kind of handle this, right? Is by promoting something and not delivering on it, right?
Yeah.
I think.
Yeah. We had TJ at least in that one, but he didn't really talk much, and Cassie didn't talk much. They had so many people, but they just underutilized.
They bought too many back. Like, we just need a team of 5 people. I say 5 is the perfect number.
Yeah.
And it needs to be longer than the 22-minute average.
Yeah.
Like, I mean, I know that we're estimating this 44-minute long, reunion special. At least that's inside stuff that we were told. It was going to be a 44-minute long thing for this 30th anniversary reunion special. All original story, all original footage.
So are you saying at Comic-Con it'll be the reunion special, or will be the 30th season TV series?
Personally, I think it's going to be whatever Cosmic Fury is supposed to be. That's what I'm not saying that's official. I'm not saying that's for sure going to happen. That's my opinion of what I think is going to get announced there. If Power Rangers, I know that they're going to have one announcement there, but if I was a betting man, I would say that if we were to get a cast reveal, this would be the way to do it. I can't see them doing it on a Fan First Friday, even though we've gotten that in COVID times. The only reason I don't think it would happen again is mainly the Fan First Fridays haven't had the greatest reception from the Power Ranger fan base as a whole. Now, there could be a whole point of this where Hasbro's like, well, we don't give a shit. You know what I mean? Like, it doesn't matter. We're still going to put it on Fan First Friday. But I feel like if they're actually listening to fans and wanting to grow this, their maximum impact would be to do this announcement in front of an international audience at San Diego Comic-Con.
At least when people are ready for news too. It's not like a random Friday where they're like, what? Hold on. Like, do we even want to cover it? We already had a bunch of other stuff going on. If you're already sitting there and waiting for any sort of news, I mean, we could potentially get even more eyeballs on it.
That's true.
I'm looking this up. San Diego Comic-Con.
So I think that if, like, from a media point of view, like, if you're not bothered about the brand doing something big, just give it to the people that are talking about it a lot. There's a lot of us that are covering all of this, like, on a day-to-day basis or wanting to talk about it. So if Hasbro utilized it and went, all right, guys, like, we can't be bothered with this anymore. How about we give you the information, release it on this date, sign NDAs because you can't talk about it, but it has to go on this time. And then give each, like, all of us, like, different versions of something different. It would bring a lot more people together, and then just Hasbro just go, we're on Twitter, share a link, there you go, and then people will be like, oh, all right. So that's
if everybody does it at the same time, like if you give it to multiple people and they're all doing it at the same time, who knows? Maybe it'll trend, and then maybe the bigger audience would look into what's actually going on. But
Well, the
That's a good
question
point.
here is, do you think that the brand would do that with specifically a Power Ranger focused Power Ranger focused outlets, or do you think they're trying to do that with like the Entertainment Weeklies, you know what I mean, these big publications that they're going to just get lost in the
Deadline.
shuffle, right? You know what I mean? So I feel like I don't know. It's such a hard balance the way that they're marketing Power Rangers because right now, currently, there's not a ton out there for us to be wowed by. There hasn't been a ton of Lightning Collection news. Um, the thing that probably excites me the most in the franchise that we know is coming is the second half of Part Two, Season 2 of Dino Fury. But other than that, we don't really know much else. I mean, at this point now, Austin St. John did confirm that they've all been reached out to for this 30th anniversary. We know that there is an attempt to make that. Whether or not that comes to fruition, there's not a lot of time to get that done in because essentially from next month they have, I mean, a year for that to fully be a 30th anniversary. I mean, it could release anytime next year, but I mean, it doesn't seem like there's a ton of time to get all of these deals done, unless everybody's lying to us and they're all coming back. That's definitely a possibility too. But I would
Maybe
kinda
they're
doubt
all
it.
trolling us, and they've just made all of it up. They
Maybe
all
ASJ
made
didn't
all
get
of it up.
arrested.
Yeah.
It's all fake.
This is all
It was all part of it. It was all part of
Smoke.
it.
Yeah. It's like,
They're just
oh,
like-
they're,
Yeah, I
they're
mean-
they're catching on to us. We need a ASJ. We need you to pretend like you're getting arrested for some weird fraud thing.
Yeah,
I'll
all
tell
right,
you what,
guys, I'll take that hit.
That couldn't have come at a worse time for that franchise, though, right? It felt like
For real.
people were getting really excited, and that just dominated. That dominated not just Power Ranger news, but like national news. You know what I mean? That was crazy.
Yeah. At least it's not like Warner Brothers situation that they got going, but it's still something.
Hey, wait, let me ask you guys this. Do you, if the 30th anniversary with the original cast does not happen, do you still want a 30th anniversary special?
Yeah.
Oh
Like-
yeah, I still
I
want
still
one.
do. Yeah.
I still think this Yen storyline it's so interesting that I wouldn't care if none of them came back and it just focused on her because I feel like out of every single ranger, Trini's never had anything, and I feel like it's more exciting than having like, oh, here comes Austin or here comes JDF, but it's something that's gone, oh, this could be about Trini. It's like, what? Please give me more. I don't care if it's a small tidbit. I need more information.
Should work.
It's gonna be really sad if just like this eventually ends up happening and people are just gonna continuously compare this to the original concept of this episode.
Oh,
That's the worst possible scenario.
dang, that's crazy. It's
The other thing too was how impactful was this 30th anniversary on the future of what they were going to do. My guess is not very, simply because it didn't seem like it tied into anything with Entwistle was doing, and more so than anything else, it kind of felt like a swan song, or you know what I mean, like a let's wrap this up. At least that's the way it kind of came off. Not saying that's the way it is, because we do know that there's a Cosmic Fury or whatever that may be coming out.
I
And
feel like
does
as
that
much,
tie into this?
bro,
What'd I
I just
say?
feel like as much as they are planning what they're gonna do with this 30th reunion, as well as Cosmic Fury, I think they really need to know what they're gonna do next, because this reunion, if anything, is gonna bring back eyes to the show, and you need to use that attention while you can to literally be like, this is what we have next. You should stay to see what we got next, because this whole new universe and everything, like this reunion should lead on to this in a way.
That'd be true.
Interesting.
But what if after they do that, so like they do the 30th anniversary, they do the 30th, they do the anniversary thing, and then they do the season, and then they just stop until Jonathan Entwistle's like project is off the ground. Then people are just like, there's like a gap, and people are like, what happened? And you kind of lose a bunch of like potential viewers or motivation to watch the next thing. Like, I don't know.
Do you think though that they won't have Jonathan Entwistle's universe ready to go right after they air whatever season would be next?
No.
No.
My
We've had,
guess
like,
is that
3 years to work on it so far, and we don't even have a title. So
Yeah.
it's a very good point.
Not
We're
even
in
a
the dark,
plan.
really. Yeah.
Like, remember the original writer? What's his name? Like Edward something, like Brian Edward Hill or something. And I don't even know if he's involved in it anymore. So like,
from Titans.
yeah, from Titans.
Yeah.
So like, there's so many changes that had happened that I don't. Maybe they still, at this point, which is fine, they still don't really have a plan for that. So they're just kind of like hoping, oh, hopefully this 30th season catches fire, or hopefully the reunion catches fire, and then maybe we'll get some extra money to help, build this new thing. I don't know.
think
Maybe we'll get some extra money to help build this new thing. That would
Yeah.
be, I
Like,
think that
oh,
would solve some of
here's
Power Rangers problems.
yeah. He's like, oh, there's a little bit of buzz. Let's
Wait, let me ask you guys a question. So let's just going on a tangent here. Let's say the Jonathan Entwistle thing is a brand new universe. Do you think though that also means brand new characters completely? No Rita Repulsa, no Lord Zed, no whatever else. Do you think it's completely new characters?
I think so, because you wouldn't want to make Power Rangers the same on Netflix. So if you want to pull in all these new people, you'd be like, oh, I really want to see this. Then something completely different, something that isn't like, oh, that guy in the rubber suit, or that woman that was screaming about headaches and stuff like that. You'd want to make it more, not more mature, but at least for the right audience. And I feel like because Jenny's got like all the stuff with Jessica Jones, Cloak and Dagger, etc., etc. I feel like they would build something brand new for us and say, this is what you've always wanted, and then see how it is. At the end of the day, I think their main goal is to bring in more new people than it is to please the fandom, but then also give what the fandom's been wanting for ages, since they've gone like, oh, I really like Super Sentai. I want something a bit darker and I want something a bit more mature. And I feel like that will go hand in hand. If they don't hit it right, I think it'll be gone by end of season 1, season 2.
Do you guys think? Go ahead, Liz.
Oh, just real quick. I did double check. Brian Edward Hill does still have Power Rangers in his Twitter description, and like he is active on Twitter, so it's still there.
Do you think though that if they went more towards this, I don't know, adult-themed, an aged-up version of Power Rangers with no rubber-suited monsters and completely different-looking suits, do you think that there's any brand confusion there, or do you think it doesn't matter whatsoever because they want to reinvent Power Rangers anyway? Do you think that there's a... Go ahead, SK.
I just feel like a reinvention is just most probable. As much as they're hyping up this new universe, how it's going to be literally disconnected from everything we know, the least I would expect is for this new universe to not really have much connection at all as to what we know before. Like, forget the naming of the original 5 and Zora and Alpha. They would kind of create a new story, and like that goes hand in hand with trying to escape the hands of the Super Sentai footage and whatnot too. So I think what makes the most sense is just create something new, not really go into what the fandom wants, like reinvent Power Rangers from zero, like jumpstart it up.
I think adding on to that, I think that if you put something at the very beginning of the series, like when the Flash started, where it's like, oh, to see what you're going to watch, you've got to believe in the unbelievable. My name's Barry Allen. I'm the fastest man alive. And I feel like if you opened up with something like the whole thing in like the Power Rangers, the movie in 95, where it's just like, in another world, there was a set of heroes that have done this, but now we're into a new story. We're into a new thing. This is the other story of the other Power Rangers. And if you have that at the very beginning, you don't have to go through the... So basically, we start with Mighty Morphing, then we start with Mighty Morphing, and then we move on to Mighty Morphing, Alien Rangers, and Zeo and Turbo. It just makes it so much easier to go, oh, okay, there were others.
That's a good framing device.
Now, what are the chances they kind of amalgamate all of the Power Ranger continuity and teams into like one thing? Where I know Toku Chris had mentioned in one of our past episodes, what if it is like, Jason and all his buddies go to Angel Grove, but there's this new young freshman that wants to be like a firefighter, and that's Carter Grayson, and they kind of merge them within the world. Do you think that that's a possibility too, where we can have these concurrent Power Ranger teams live within the same universe at the same time?
It's a lot of work.
It is a lot of work, but it seems like they're putting in a lot of work. At least it seems like
true.
They're taking their time and figuring out what they're doing with their universe. I mean, I'm not saying that they're literally going in there and being like, well, maybe we can put all these things together. At the end of the day, they need to be based in something. But like, where's that lore coming from? And what makes it definitively Power Rangers than starting up something completely new and calling it something else differently? You know what I mean?
That's true.
Like like Liz was saying, I kind of want to see what the direction is that Entwistle is going in, because that's the one big question mark, is what is going to carry over, what aesthetics are going to carry over, what kind of plot lines or characters are going to carry over, even if they are reinvented. Because if it's something completely new, is it still Power Rangers?
Is it going to be spandex still?
I don't think so. I mean, I would kind of doubt that, mainly because I mean, who knows though, man? If they can get spandex looking really good, I guess.
I was watching some behind the scenes stuff for um, Doctor Strange Multiverse of Madness, and they're like showing how Black Bolt's costume was all CG, but his costume looked like freaking great in that. If we could get something that looks like that, like, and you don't have to go through too much trouble of like doing fittings and stuff, and it could all be done on the post side, I think that'd be super cool. You know,
I kind of want to see something like the Grant Gustin's Flash costume. I
Okay.
think that would be quite cool. Bit loose fitting, but you know, I just want to see it. I think it would be pretty cool.
Well, here's
Like a
another
physical
question
suit.
too.
Yeah.
With Jonathan Entwistle's Power Rangers, because I feel like Power Rangers, especially the way that most people know Power Rangers, it's so synonymous with dinosaurs. Is that like a motif that Jonathan Entwistle kind of sticks with? Because even in 2017, when we got a rebooted universe, like that was still like their base core was like, we got to use these dinosaur powers. Do you think that's still the same case?
There'll be alien dinosaurs this time.
Yeah.
Alien dinosaurs.
It's like it's
From
like when Michael Bay
space.
did Ninja Turtles, like, oh, they're aliens actually, and then there's a huge uproar, huge uproar. That'd be fucking cool.
Dinosaurs are always cool. Like, there's still Jurassic Park. Like, people love dinosaurs. It's just a thing. If they're gonna, I mean, I could see them if they're doing at least more like animal based. I don't know. Maybe it'll be all tech. It'll be like beast morphers, leather and governments.
Leather and governments.
Leather,
That's gonna be the
leather
name
and
of the
government.
season, actually. Power
That's
Rangers,
gonna name
Leather
of
and
the stream.
Governments.
Leather and government.
I think if they do dinosaurs, I feel like that's what they're trying to cash in with toys. But again, the toys from the mainline haven't been selling, so dinosaurs and money is a really nice thing. They just come with massive like cash bags. But if they don't, maybe something different rather than it's dinosaur, because the fandom's just gonna go dinosaurs, and then the non-fandom are gonna go dinosaurs, and that's it.
Yeah, you can't really lose either way, right?
Yeah.
I wouldn't
Maybe
think
they
so.
do something. If they do something else, I think it all mainly comes down to like just brand recognition, right? So if you're trying to get back the old fans that didn't keep up with Power Rangers like we did, you're gonna need something that kind of like they can find something nostalgic that they can link to.
Okay. Give me two things, each person. Give me two things that the 30th anniversary special must do in order to be, get over with the fans. Name two things that it has to do. Because one of them for me is it has to include Simon Bennett as like the showrunner for it. Because I feel like he's really understands the universe and he's been learning the lore of Power Rangers, and I think he can handle it with care. So that's one thing that I automatically would like for me personally. Well, what about you guys? Wait, I did say Simon Bennett, right? Not Jonathan.
Yeah, you did
So
Simon. You're good.
Okay.
You got it right.
I feel like the first thing for me would have to be bring people back that would make a good episode. Like, make sure that whoever you're bringing back, you can connect them with the rest of the team, and then you can tie up loose ends there in a way, and just give honor and respect to any Power Rangers season that has aired in the last 30 years. And the second thing for me would probably also be Simon Bennett, because I feel like he's done an amazing job connecting all these seasons. And if he's brought back here, I feel like he would also make the special as well.
That would be cool. I think the theme song. I think we need the original theme song, like with the actual build up. Like if Yen like finally like uses all the powers or whatever, you just get the actual build up to the original theme song.
Yeah.
With the actual like the few verses that it does, just to hype it up, just something crazy.
Incorporate it in the final battle. I feel like would be
Yeah,
cool.
yeah.
That would be actually pretty cool. That's a good call, Jester. How about you guys?
I want them to make a reference about the peace conference.
Peace conference, yes.
It's just one of those like they left for the peace conference. And Jason came back. I mean, if you follow the comics, and the lore between lore of comics, lore of whatever. But I just think it'd be really funny. There needs to be at least one small mention about a peace conference, just to make me laugh.
Yeah, that'd be crazy.
Okay, I've got three.
Okay.
So first one is I want really decent writing. I mean, not I mean, we've got decent writing right now, but I would really love it if they just turn around and actually put a lot of like effort into it. 2, I want them to bring back Azim.
Yeah.
So finally someone can go like, oh, there's a why am I the Green Ranger? There's a simple explanation, and someone actually goes, do you know what? It's because of this, and he goes, thank you. I've been waiting years for that. And then the last one is at the very end when it's like, oh my god, we've had a good party, guys. I want them to walk into a big room and Robo Knight rapping and actually on the decks and just producing music, and it's just like, oh my god, Robo Knight, you've done. He's like, yeah, my career's gone like sky high. And Simon Bennett.
I like all of your stuff is really taking part in the Neo Saban era. Like that's a really big tribute to the Neo Saban era. Like
That'd be great. And I think Azim would be totally down to come back. Like, yeah, fuck yeah, I'll come back.
That'd be cool.
Well, let me ask you: are you guys itching more for a just an overall Power Ranger 30th anniversary reunion, or more of a Mighty Morphin 30th anniversary reunion? Which one do you feel has? Which one do you want to see more? Not which one has the most impacts. I think we know that.
If they could do the first one, like, and have like where it's like a whole encompassing type thing, that'd be really cool. But I really don't think that they're gonna focus on it. But that'd be really cool, and just have like so many people, just it show like where they're at in their life, and like, oh, there's this big, monster that the current team has to defeat. Let's lend our like residual powers that we have left over and just help them. Like, you not have to do anything, but just help them in some way. That'd be pretty cool.
So you just want to see essentially the legendary battle. It felt like seems like Jezer. So what you
I
kind of
guess.
explained, right?
I just want to see. I just want to see. Yeah, just where they're at. Like a longer.
He wants a
version of that.
behind the music of like each season, like
Well,
running
what's wrong
down.
with
like,
that? What's wrong with that?
You know, that's not a bad idea. In universe, there's like this tabloid reporter that exposes the Power Rangers' identities, and he does
Yeah.
like a series like behind the helmet. Where are these Power Rangers now? It's like a
Yeah.
dude like doing gardening work. He lost his powers. That'd be great.
We also need
Fantastic.
Bulk and Skull. I think they have to have Bulk and Skull in it. Like,
You know
all
what?
that-
I will say
Yeah,
that's
that would
something that is
be-
super underrated. Bulk and Skull should be a part of 30th anniversary.
Yeah.
It's even better. Bolt and Skull meets Victor and Monty, meet the two from
Oh,
Dino
here
Thunder.
we go.
I actually
and then-
really want that.
Yeah. And then bring in Jane and Jayborg, and then for just one episode that they all have crazy adventures, and it cuts from it. It's just like in Angel Grove, there's Bulk and Skull, and they get like 15 minutes, and then Victor and Monty get like 15, and it just all works together. And then they meet up, and they're just like, we think we know who the Power Rangers are. It's you, and that's it. Banger of an episode.
I mean, I feel like the
I
only
would
other
watch
way-
that all day.
I know, I would watch that too.
I will watch
I
it
feel
too.
like the only other way they can do a 30th anniversary season without using the original Mighty Morphin Rangers is kind of the same way, and I think would be a fun callback. 'Cause they did it 15 years ago, but they did the Once a Ranger thing, except a new generation of Once a Ranger with new Rangers.
Once
I think
Ranger
that would be
two.
like a Once a Ranger, once Ranger 2, except with a new team. Would be a lot of fun.
So this one would just be called Always a Ranger.
Always.
Always a Ranger.
Oh, there you go.
They can't take that idea anymore.
Yeah,
Well, for you guys, for anything that you watch, like growing up, or something that you finished like to completion, like this series finale, what was like your favorite series finale, and you felt like, oh, that went on a very high note, and I want that for Power Rangers. Like, what's that show for you guys?
Ooh, that's a really good question.
It's a hard question.
You know what? I feel like that's such a divisive one. I'm gonna say, and I know some people are like, "Oh, I wanted to see him in the suit." Smallville for me, I think ended like I like the way Smallville ended. They brought Lex back, and that was a big question.
That last
But I know
season was tough, bro. Are you
the
serious?
last season was tough, but I like the way the show ended because
Okay.
I wanted more of Clark in his suit, but I mean it wasn't terrible. I mean I'm sure people wanted more though at the time. Lost. I know that's a divisive one. Tons of people hated Lost ending. I liked it.
Trying to think of one that I just like, such a high note that you just leave. You end the show and you're like, oh yeah, that's great. I'm good. I'm happy.
Sopranos, the ending. That's what I want. The end. That's it.
I don't think I've seen the ending of that one.
All it does is they start talking and it cuts mid sentence and just goes to a black screen, and that's it. So I want them to go like, guys, do you remember? And it's just like the end.
I feel like maybe The Office.
I was about to
it
say that, like, that's the
tied
only
up
one I
kind
can
of
think of
everything.
right now.
Maybe, yeah.
I'm guessing
Maybe.
you don't mean the UK office. I'm guessing you mean the American one.
Yeah, the American Office kind of tied up everybody's storyline. It brought Steve Carell back, even though that was a big, like, oh, we don't know if he's coming back type of thing.
Yeah.
That was a decent one. Brought, it had conclusions to everybody's storyline.
Avengers Endgame, maybe? No. Oh.
Tommy dies.
But that's
He just
not, I
goes,
wouldn't say that's like a finale of something, because then we're
No.
still in phase 4 and carrying it on.
Yeah. Oh, like before they did the reboot, like series, Boy Meets World, where like they're just all in the classroom
Oh yeah.
talking to Mr. Feeney. But before they like decided to do like a reboot or like a continuation, I thought that was a good ending for that. I thought that was cool.
You
trying
watch
to think of-
Gravity Falls. Gravity Falls wrapped everything up.
It was
And there's
perfect.
still a lot more. And I mean, you still kind of want to go. Like, you wish it kept going.
Yeah, yeah.
But the way it wrapped up, you're just like, that was amazing. Highly recommend Gravity Falls.
Okay. Maybe like Toy Story 3 kind of ended. Well, it kind
Well,
of
it didn't end
ended
because there was a
sad.
Toy Story 4, buddy.
I know. I'm thinking about that. Dang.
I like the ending of Phineas and Ferb.
Yeah.
They're all grown
What-
up.
Oh, they all grew up.
Phineas ended up with Isabel at the end. It was cute.
Maybe they do the end of like Big Bang Theory, where it's a sad version of the Mighty Morphin theme tune, and they're all just sat in the juice bar talking, going, "Oh, do you remember this time?" Camera slowly pulls out, and it just says, "Thank you for watching Ranger Nation, 30 years."
See, honestly, so if they were going to do like what Jezer wanted and have like that sit down reunion special, it should be at Ernie's Juice Bar. Like they should rebuild the Ernie's Juice Bar set, and it should have been like the cast talking at the juice bar.
Yeah. Well, with a picture of what was his name? The guy who played Ernie.
Oh,
He
Richard.
passed away.
It's Richard Janelle or something. Janelle or something.
Maybe that's where the G was coming. I was thinking of, but yeah,
that'd be pretty cool.
I think it'd be cool. They need to have Rocky's pachinko machine as well.
Yes, yes.
Central.
Yes.
And then it breaks out into a food fight at some point.
Yeah.
I mean,
pies thrown everywhere.
And then when Tommy walks into the juice bar and like after like all the parents disappear, and he's like, "Where's everybody at?" Just if that's the way they want to do it, so they don't have to interact with each other. Just like, oh,
that.
I mean, look, I feel like whatever that Yin storyline is and the way that kind of works out, I would say for the most part. And who knows? Maybe that's something that we saw a character breakdown and we kind of put the puzzle pieces together, so we have an idea of what we want from that. But I feel like if they move in that direction, it not only does a great way of kind of like extending Mighty Morphin's legacy, but also kind of wrapping up Mighty Morphin legacy if they wanted to do it that way too. And I was also thinking that if they did move in that direction with Yin, because at this point now, like JJ, Tommy's son, would be like in his teens too. It'd be kind of cool that if we start seeing the legacy Mighty Morphin characters, and maybe those two and 4 new people taking over those powers.
That'd be pretty cool. But
like
Joe, in your opinion, what's the percentage that you think this reunion side is gonna happen?
And now, honestly, I would say that you mean percentage that it's going to happen.
Yeah, like they're gonna fall 40%. And
the only
we
reason
probably
I
figure
don't
out
feel
this year.
Yeah, the only reason I feel less confident about it is obviously the Austin St. John thing, I think, is a hinder to all of it. But who knows, man? One thing I've learned about Power Rangers, especially the way that Hasbro's doing this, is that stuff like that concerns them less. And at that point, I feel like they would just be like, well, we could just get Steve Cardenas to do it. But I don't think they would realize the impact fans, the fans would think about that. But all of indications would tell me that with people saying, oh, I'm not going to be a part of it. Like Amy Jo Johnson publicly said that this thing was a rumor. Now we know that it's completely true. That all, that they were all asked back. It doesn't seem like she's coming back.
No.
David Yost hasn't commented at all really about this. Austin St. John publicly said he's not going to do this, and so did Jason David Frank. And Walter Jones hasn't said anything at all either. So if we're saying that we're only getting 2 out of those 5, I would say that, whatever that, I mean, I'd still like to see them come back, but I just don't know if Hasbro is willing to fork out the money, you know what I mean? Just to revolve it around those 2 Rangers. That's just my opinion.
That is true. That is true. And
Then again, who knows? Maybe they're playing all of us and they're all coming back, which would be fantastic, right?
Maybe it's already shot. It's already done. Everybody's back. It's already done. they're doing the whole Andrew Garfield thing, and we just gotta wait
Well, let
for
me
the
ask you guys:
portals
what are
to
the
open.
chances? What percentage do you think that the 30th anniversary is actually going to happen?
Pretty low. Like after that ASJ thing, pretty low, to be honest.
I feel like if anything, if it's still gonna happen, it's not gonna be the original idea as we thought.
Yeah.
So I'm gonna be a 50.
I'll go 50 as well.
Let's go 49.
Oh, there we go. 49,
So,
51.
49%.
49%.
But regardless,
yeah.
are you guys more? I mean, look, because I know prior to this Austin St. John thing, we were running on a high as Power Ranger fans, knowing that there was this
Cosmic
talk of this
Fury.
30th anniversary thing. But are you now more excited about Cosmic Fury, Jonathan Entwistle's universe, this possible 30th anniversary? I feel like as Power Ranger fans, there's 3 potential projects that are rumored, none of which officially have been announced by Power Rangers themselves, but 3 projects nonetheless. Which one excites you the most, though? Because I will say Cosmic Fury, if it is what I think it could be in my head, I'm all on board with that. Like, I think that could be
I'm
a
on
I was
board.
gonna say the same thing. I'm on board with that 100%.
If it's continuity, if there's continuity between that and Dino Fury, if it's a whole new thing and they try to do it like super quickly for what the 30th season, and it might fall flat. Like I think that the changing the team time from season to season worked back then, but like we're in an age where people are like binging and streaming stuff where they grow and like fall in love with these characters, and then just to keep changing them left and right, it doesn't work. The formula doesn't work.
Interesting.
I agree.
Well, I think that's a good place to wrap this up. I do have one last question before we do. Is that we now know that this Austin St. John, as he said, that all of them are reached out for this 30th anniversary thing. If it doesn't happen, if the 30th anniversary, if nothing comes out of this at all, what do you think Power Rangers can do to kind of supplement not having a 30th anniversary special?
Ooh.
Have a really good season.
Yeah.
So put
Make
all
more
the eggs in the
toys.
cosmic. So that's a good question,
Just
Esther. Because
tons of toys.
would you put all your eggs in the Cosmic Fury basket, or would you kind of like reserve that for whatever Entwistle's doing? And then Liz, making good toys, I would agree, because we, as of now, and Chris said this last week, is that currently right now there are no new toys planned outside of the Mighty Morphin stuff that's going on. So, I mean, that's a pretty good indicator that they were planning something for the 30th anniversary. But
You're talking about even Lightning Collection, like they're not continuing.
I mean, I
on?
think Lightning Collection was going to continue on, but like outside of like another kind of like Dino Fury line or whatever it may be like that, there was nothing
No.
planned besides the 30th anniversary thing. But make good toys. Put your eggs in the Cosmic Fury basket. Jesser, what says you?
Power Rangers Go animated series, where it's like big Power Ranger heads and then wonky, slapstick.
No,
comedy. I don't
you
know.
wouldn't really want that, right? Or do you really want that?
No. I mean, I would. An animated show would be cool, and I mean, I've seen some freaking YouTubers make animated stuff really quickly. So, if they had a year and a half, I think I'm pretty sure they can, pump something out.
So animated, it would be a good supplement for you for actually, that's
Yeah.
not a terrible idea. Even for 30th anniversary special, is it done in animation, which I think is a
Yeah.
fantastic idea, Jesser. Heirloom, what says you? What would you go with to supplement a 30th anniversary non-reunion?
I would just probably say like Cosmic Fury, but I think the way that I would stage it would be do it for the entire year rather than chunk now later. So I'd follow the Sentai formula a bit and be like start from January, end in December, or carry on to the next year and just have it like once a week and actually put more time and effort and love into the production rather than go, it's on Netflix, go binge it. So
I
better
feel like
writing.
that would be so hard to do within shooting in the course of a year. Like doing something like that, you wouldn't get it until like 2024 because they would have to take all of 2023 to shoot about. Because you were talking what, 40 to 50 episodes?
Yeah, I mean, like, I think the way that I've seen their formula work is that I think when the new one comes along, they have someone else on the next unit. So obviously they have like they shoot all the suit stuff and then they do the next stuff, like all the out of suit stuff. But I feel like if you do it properly and actually take it, even if they change it to okay, we're going to do 22 episodes, stage it, give something to the fandom that they want something a bit more rather than just here is it all to binge watch. Because as soon as you've done it, I've finished Dino Fury within a day. So the next stage is people are just going to jump to the end, see the end of it, and go, oh, but if they spoon feed it to us, I think we'd appreciate it a bit more.
Oh yeah, and there's build up, and
That's
then
true.
you get a bunch
Yeah.
of like kind of like how Stranger Things did, where they did like the last 2 episodes of the season like later on. Like people are just like speculating the whole time. If you get that kind of like buzz for like Power Rangers, I guess they're doing that with Dino Fury right now, but I guess it's not as
Spread it a little
yeah, I
more,
mean,
yeah.
Yeah, it's a great point, Jezza, because the second half of Dino Fury is yet to come, and every indication, everything we've heard about it, it's supposed to be this epic finale that's, there's a lot going on about it. And even I was just going over one of my other things with Chance today, and like he did say that the characters grow, and like the last 2 episodes are like the best or his favorites of the series. So who knows? And we know Simon Bennett's directing the last 2 episodes personally. So who knows?
And you think they
what's-
could do that all that in 11 episodes? Like everybody was talking about growth and all these like story arcs that are like being completed. You think that they finished it in
How
11
many-
episodes?
How many? I mean, that's yeah. I mean, 11 episodes is a lot of television. It's a
That's
lot of
true.
content. I think they can, because you got to think right now. I mean, what else did Ollie have? What else does he have to do this season? Like we've seen his character progression. We just need him and Amelia to get together, right? That
Yeah.
can be settled up fairly soon. I mean, the Zato stuff, and we know for sure we're going to be going back to RAFCON at some point. So we gotta settle up the Zato stuff, and as well as what's the Gold Ranger's name?
Ion.
Ion. We got to get stuff resolved from him too, right? Void Knight, Void Queen, we need that taken care of. We got to figure out what's going on with Lord Zed. We know that Mick is at some point going to return, but also like, where else do we see Javi going? Like, what's the next evolution of that character? I feel like everybody loves Izzy, so like we're going to see where that character goes too. But for the most part, what's left to really wrap up,
I
right?
guess
Because I
that's
feel
true.
like they can wrap up everything with
Morphin Masters.
Morphin Masters.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Morphin Masters, yeah. And will that finale? That's one thing that I hope that they are able to do on Netflix, is kind of like old school Power Ranger storytelling. Do you guys remember Power Rangers Turbo? They strapped themselves into that Nasada space shuttle with little Alpha
Nasada.
5, and Justin couldn't go with them. Like blast off into space, and it was like to be continued. Power Rangers in space, whatever it is. If it's the same thing, Cosmic Fury, I will be this is, you know what I mean?
That
Like,
would be so
That'd
cool.
be crazy.
That would be
because
cool.
at that point, imagine us as fans. If that's the end of this season, and we know that the 30th anniversary or 30th year is next year, and that's when we're going to get a new season, our imaginations are going to run wild with cameos that can appear,
Yeah.
especially if they're going to space. You know what I mean? So
That spaceship comes out of the ground, and then they had like, oh, we have to go to RAFCON, something
you know,
crazy.
and ironically, I actually think it'd be interesting, because if the fans get that hyped about the continued universe from the last 30 years of Power Rangers, and they're like, wait a minute, we don't really want this Entwistle thing, that's going to cause like a whole nother thing. You know what I mean? So
Yeah.
I'm very, very curious, because if you guys have noticed the trend, these one and done creators in Power Rangers have somehow come in a season and changed the game. It happened in SPD with Greg Aronowitz. It happened with Eddie Gazillion in SPD. You know what I mean? These creators just come in and be like, all right, do what you want to do with it. Let's just see what happens. And they end up being, it's same thing with Power Rangers in Space. That was going to be the last season too. They end up just, being these phenomenal seasons. And if we're going to end it like with Cosmic Fury on a high note like that, it's like, well, why do we want a new universe when this is going so well? So who
We'll
knows
take it
what's gonna
still.
happen? We'll take it. Yeah, I'll take as much as we can get in different. Yeah, absolutely. But I think that is going to do it for us, guys. Heirloom, where can everybody find you, and when's your new video dropping?
You can all find me on everywhere bar Twitter as Heirloom, and then on Twitter as Mainstream Live. And there's probably a new video dropping. I have no idea what it is, because I shot them like 2-3 months ago when all the news was out. Maybe new merch. I have no idea.
Este, what's the latest on you? Where can everybody find you on social media?
Find me on YouTube as Este, Twitter, Dino Fuego, Instagram, Naton Fuego, and my next video, I'm talking about the Dynamen parody dub.
Yeah,
Ooh.
Liz, you deliver the greatest news of all Power Ranger content creators out there. What can people expect from you and your channel? Where can everybody find you?
You can find me everywhere as Ranger Liz. Pretty easy to find. And this week, probably like Monday or Tuesday, I'm gonna drop. I just did an interview with Melissa Flores, who is the
Ooh.
writer of a new comic book called The Dead Lucky, and it's gonna be coming out in August. So we chatted about the new book and stuff for a little bit, and that interview should be up early next week.
Amazing.
Hey.
Jezzer, where can everybody find you, buddy?
I'm currently right now trying to get us to 1K on the Illuminati's TikTok. So my face is all over doing all the stupid trends, trying to figure out this algorithm. So yeah, you can find me there or on all social media at Zeus.
And you can find me right here at the Illuminerdi, at Joe Illuminerdi on social media. I should probably start getting back on that. But I will deliver more Power Ranger news, more Marvel news. By the way, we're going to be doing a podcast on Thor, which is a lot of fun. I hope you guys go out and see it.
Oh my god.
It's a fun movie. It's a fun movie. And then everybody knows that I have not been the biggest fan of Marvel Phase 4. So, I think this was a good palate cleanser for me.
Hence all the Marvel we got going on right now.
Yeah, I know. I mean,
right.
literally, I was locked up in this shirt, and I just decided to wear this hat. But yeah, it's a fun movie. It's a fun movie. Marvel Phase 4 though has been a little bit of a letdown for me, and maybe that's my own personal Marvel fatigue. I will say it might be kicking in a little bit, but try to get re-energized. But that's going to do it for us here at the Illuminerdi. Thank you guys so much for joining us on this Ranger Nation discussion. Next week we'll be back with another one talking about the latest in Power Rangers. Thank you so much for watching. Please hit that like, share, and subscribe button to stay up to date with everything trending in geek
pop culture.
Later, guys.